like, what's gonna happen? Are you guys gonna stay together? Are you guys like, is he gonna tell him and leave his mom? Or like, what's gonna happen? Big talk. So we don't make small talk here. We only make big talk. You introduce yourself.
All right. Well,
Okay, go for it.
I am Henk. I am 20 and I am Canadian.
Where do you go to university?
The University of Toronto.
What are you studying?
I'm in commerce.
And what have you thought about so far?
Thought about what?
University.
University?
Yeah.
It's alright.
It's I.
It's okay. You meet a lot more dumb people than you think there are in the world.
Well, like, within the past 2 years, like, do you think you've actually, like, learned anything valuable? Or,
I think the biggest thing for me is knowing what reality is.
like, living on your own?
It's not just that. It's just when, at least this is how I personally feel. I feel like, living in Vancouver, a lot of people live in their own bubble, in their own world. And nobody really knows what reality is like until you move out and live by yourself and go through enough hardship where you realize the fact that most of the things in life aren't what you think it is.
Wow. It's a deep answer. Didn't really expect that so quick, so soon. Wow. If you don't already know, to the people listening, Henk is my boyfriend. How long have we been dating for?
We're past 3.5 years now.
Do you know how long? In months.
We are 3 years and 8 months, almost. Coming up on 8 months.
Yeah. Good job. I didn't think you'd, like, know the months.
What the heck?
Kidding. Of course. Okay, what are some things you like to do in your free time? Like hobbies?
Nowadays, mainly doing my creative work, no matter what it is, whether it's photography or, website design or any of that. Or if I'm in the mood, work on cars. That's about it.
Do you want to keep that as a hobby? Or would you want to go into that?
Which part?
Like the whole photography, cars, all that stuff.
Photography will always be a hobby for me, and so will working on cars. But I think ideally in life, it'd be nice to combine my abilities in business with, my love for cars.
Right. Hank really likes cars.
Yeah.
A lot. Okay, do you have any career goals then? Or life goals?
Life goals or career goals?
Both. Give me both.
I think the biggest thing in life for me is just to, not regret anything that I've done, mostly. Because I feel like the worst thing I've ever felt in my life mostly is regret. So it's, doing what you want to do. Oh my God. And if you go through with a decision, it's not something you should regret at the end of the day because it's something you want to do. In terms of career goals, I don't know. Right now, it's more just, trying to get into a creative department with some type of auto manufacturer or, marketing agency and, taking my creative, visions to a corporate level. That's about it.
What do you think people see when they, like, see Hank?
A lot of people think I'm scary looking when they first meet me. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I have a bitch face or something, but
You got an angry face sometimes.
yeah. I don't know. Most
You need
people
to smile more.
Most people that I met just think that I'm really scary before they actually get to know me. They always think that I'm gonna hurt them or something.
Okay, well, what about the people who do know you? Like, what do they think? Like, how would they describe you?
I don't know. I've never been described to myself before, so.
Well, how would you describe yourself then?
I'd like to say I'm a selfless person where I can be, Like, I can be selfless, but on a realistic scale to the point where, a lot of my decisions in my life come from, how realistic things are. It's not really, I'm going to promise you something that I can't do. I might sometimes, but like in general with my friends, that's how it is. But, if anybody ever needs my help, I'm there to help. That type of thing. And to a degree that's unhealthy for me, but I think there's that. I think, I can be a very serious person, but I can also be very immature at the same time.
You over-exaggerate just a little.
A little bit.
Not a bad thing, though.
Gotta keep things interesting.
Okay, so how did we meet? You know, like, everyone has the same answer to this for whoever I talk to. It's just gonna be, like, straight up school.
Well, yeah, we met in school. But, I don't know, we never really talked for a long time. Because I went to WJ in grade 5. You were already there. And then, I don't know, our friend groups were kind of linked.
No, yeah, the first year you came, we, like, became friends, like, within the first year. It was just a friend group, though. Like, I wasn't directly, like, close
Yeah, you weren't
with you,
directly
but, like, our
friends
friend
with me.
groups was, like, kind of established by then.
Yeah, but then, you know, I stopped hanging out with that group for a while. And then, in what, grade 9, 10, started hanging out with that group again. And then we eventually became best friends through a summer. That was a weird summer, but yeah.
What's your favorite memory of us?
Like, there's so many. It's hard to think of, you know?
Like, what's one that, like, will come up, the first thing you think of, like, oh, like, that was a good time that we had, or, like, that was fun.
Well, you know, even though it was a weird summer, I think just the summer you spent with me in Toronto is probably the most comfortable I've ever felt in my life. That's the most least on edge I've ever felt in my life. Mm-hmm. I'd say just that summer in general, yeah, I mean, you know, for example, I made some dumb decisions of not actually doing much, but it's just having you there that whole summer and, you know, living with you that, I don't know, it's usually what I think of.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, though? Like, we basically lived together for, like, 4 months.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
And we survived it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, what's something you've always wanted to do but haven't had the chance to do yet?
Go drifting properly.
Don't you... Oh,
like on a track.
Oh, okay. That's
Like
pretty
a
cool.
race on a track, yeah.
That's a very achievable thing to do, I feel like.
I can go do it anytime. I just haven't had the time to. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I don't know. And maybe just building a 1,400 horsepower car would be very nice, too. But that's not very achievable right now.
Do you have any regrets, then?
About?
Just any regrets in life? Something you've regretted doing?
Well, I've had too many regrets to count.
Really?
But that's the thing. Like, you don't really learn anything until you regret something, right?
Right.
Because I've made mistakes in kind of all fields of life. But,
Do you want to mention one of them?
the easiest one to mention right now is you know, the Audi I just bought. You know, my M3 dies, and I was like, I need a car right away. So rather than taking my time with getting a new, like a car, I ended up just rushing into it, and now I've got probably a $3,000-4,000 bill coming my way. But
Impulsive is a good.
I'm very impulsive.
Yeah, I think that would also describe you. You're not very patient. You'll want something and you'll want it now.
Well, I'm also just I hate slow-paced life. You know, like I'm a very fast-paced person.
But like that's nothing to do with being impatient.
Oh,
like,
it does. I mean,
like,
I'm saying
things. Like,
I strive more so in a fast-paced life simply due to the fact that I want everything as fast as possible.
I feel like you're impulsive in the way of like wanting things, but not impulsive in the way that you say things, which is good.
Yeah, but also in the things I do, like if I've set my mind to something that I really want to do, I want to get it done as fast as possible. You know, I don't like sitting on my ass for a month and chipping away at it slowly. And sometimes I overwork myself because of that, you know.
So would you say you're productive?
I'm productive if I need to be and if I want to be. That's been a big theme for me throughout high school and university. Like if I do try, like I will succeed at almost anything I do. The issue is I don't like trying. Right. The only year I really tried was grade 12 year.
For school?
No, let's say for school, right? Mm-hmm. That was the only year I've ever tried. And I mean that, coincidentally, that was the highest year I ever had. That was my highest mark. And it was a big
tried
jump.
Pretty hard last year, when we were first year. Felt like you studied a lot.
It was studying a lot, but at the same time, it wasn't good studying, you know? Mm-hmm. That's kind of how it was.
Should we move into our story?
Sure.
I've never heard you describe it because, like, whenever I describe, obviously you're not around, I tell it to, like, my friends. So, like, I want to hear your, like, how do you explain to people our, like, whole journey?
I mean, like, starting from the beginning?
Yeah, let's start from the beginning.
I don't know, when we first became good friends in that, like, what was that, grade 10 summer? We became best friends in a very short amount of time. And at the same time, I was going through a lot of rough stuff in life. And so you were very there for me.
Rough stuff.
I was not happy then.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And kind of throughout.
Do you want to talk about the rough stuff, or should we leave that out?
No, I mean, we can leave it in. We can talk about it.
All right, let's hear the rough stuff.
I don't know. The first half of high school was really hard for me. I mean, going into high school in grade 8, I was 240 pounds, a big ball of a kid, and I didn't really have any friends. During those times was a time where everybody was kind of experimenting around with friend groups and, going to parties and stuff, and, you look at yourself every day and you're just a ball. And it was rough because you always go to school every day and you always think to yourself that, nobody really wants to talk to you because you're that fat, chubby kid,
But weren't you, like, close with Spencer?
I was close with Spencer for a while, but that's before Spencer kind of branched out and became a popular person, right?
What about Yenyuk?
Yenyuk was gone by then.
Oh shit, yeah, he was.
Right, and I was friends with Jimmy and Nathaniel before that, but because of the whole fight, everybody had, because I was hanging out with Spencer, at that time, my only real friend was Daniel Wang.
Oh shit, yeah, Daniel. I forgot about Daniel.
And Jimmy and Nathaniel, they were really nice to me, but it wasn't genuine like it is nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you just don't have a lot of self-esteem. You don't really have a lot of anything. And, going into, grade 10, that's when I, lost a lot of weight. And, people started talking to me again, and you start getting invited to parties and stuff. And it was a big emotional roller coaster because all of a sudden you have so much attention on yourself and people are talking about you. People that you don't even know are talking about you, right? People talked about you because, they see you at parties and stuff, and they're like, oh, who's Jimmy's new friend and stuff, and it's
New friend.
I don't know. And then everybody wants to hang out with you at the time, too. And then, that led to making a lot of friends, some good, some bad, mostly bad. I don't know, that was a very unhealthy stage in my life, too.
What made you and Jimmy become friends again, even? He wasn't in our summer school class.
Well, I think, it started when I was starting to lose weight. He actually, me and him actually got a lot closer because I think you could tell that I was trying to lose weight, to become a better, healthier person. We'd bike together sometimes, and then, I don't know, we kind of just did. I don't really have a lot of memory from back then because I was such a big stoner, but...
You were a big stoner?
Yeah.
I thought your friends were big stoners.
No, I smoked way too much back then.
How much did you smoke? I feel like you never told me this.
My worst time was we bought, I think, about $250 worth of weed, ungrinded and all that. And for a week straight, my mom wasn't home. You would just wake up and smoke every single day.
Damn. I think it was the people that you were friends with mainly, though, that influenced you to do that.
I was doing that.
You would instigate it?
I would instigate it, but they did influence me. But at the same time, I partook.
I did not know that. I feel like you, when we became friends, you never talked about, like, smoking. Probably thought I was too vanilla.
Well, that was a whole joke back then that you were...
I was innocent. I still am innocent. I don't do anything bad.
But
yeah, I said a lot of stuff about me back then. We'll not talk about it.
Well, not me.
I'm sure you did. It's okay. Time has passed. You didn't like me back then.
Well, I only didn't like you because you didn't like me.
I literally never said I didn't like you. I still don't understand. I don't know what kind of grudge you think I hold, but I'm really bad at holding grudges. Even if you did throw a snowball at me, I probably forgot within a week. Was that the rough patch?
It was also patched with a bad decision in woman. And then, one heartbreak led to Irene being a very nice person to me. And then we grew really close.
I was a nice person to you before the heartbreak.
I guess so, yeah. But then eventually we just kind of started dating. That's kind of how I describe it.
Do you tell people about the 2 parties you threw so you could hang out with me?
No.
I tell people that.
No, I don't.
It's pretty funny.
I don't tell people about that.
Why? Oh my god, do you tell people? Okay, I guess you wouldn't really need to tell. But then I thought it was so cute that you had to ask Sian for permission to date me, which also didn't make sense at the same time, because why do you need to ask her for permission? She's not my mom.
I don't know.
Like, what in your mind was like, okay, I should do this before I, like, say anything to her?
I don't know, I was just nervous, because, you're the only person that I genuinely asked out and I actually cared for, right? That wasn't family.
What'd you say to her? Like, were you asking for advice of what to do, or were you asking
Well, first I asked for permission, then I was like, oh, how should I say it, Because in my mom's bedroom.
Yeah. And then I walked in on him talking to her, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I left.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with your mom?
Oh, well, for some context, my mother's a single mother who has a single son. My mom gave birth to me in Vancouver at Women's Hospital, literally alone, with only her best friend by her side. And so my mom's always been very protective of me. I care about my mother a lot too. And so my mom has decided to banish Irene from my life. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Do we know to this day why she doesn't like Irene?
Nope.
No.
Well, she told me to break up with you. Mm-hmm. And so I lied to her and said I did.
Yep. So now it's been like it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years of us being broken up, quote unquote, to her. But then along that 2 years, there were multiple freakouts.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first one at Port Moody when we all were with our friends. And then David picked up your phone, who your mom called you. He grabbed your phone and then was like, oh, I ran through this party together or whatever. And then she like full on freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
That was like minor because like she didn't think we were dating still, I guess. It was just like, oh, she didn't like the fact that I was in the same room as you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's been a total of 4 reading weeks in our lives so far, and every single time, Henk has come back to Vancouver and has not told his mom and has not been caught. Except that one time.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, that was so fucking whack. Like, she literally called you out and was like, yeah, you were in Vancouver, someone saw you. Like, your phone bill literally says you were making calls from Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was that not crazy?
Oh, it was.
She literally wanted you to go to Fido with her to be like, why does it say he's making calls from Vancouver if he says that he's in Toronto?
Yeah.
And then the summer when I was in Toronto and she thought I was fucking psycho because I happened to be in Toronto the entire summer. And because I was there for my sister, she probably thought I only squared my way to Toronto to see you, which I technically did, but she like probably thought it in a more like crazy girlfriend kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came to Toronto for a week and I had to move out of your place, go to my sister's apartment, live there for a week, and then come back.
Yeah.
And then within we were across the street from each other too, so I would literally be so terrified of like going downstairs and running into her. So like I'd have to like text you and be like, is she in the house? Like, is she going downstairs? Because I'm going downstairs now. And then that time we hung out and then she wanted proof of you hanging out with Jack. So then you ran to Jack's apartment, took a video with him, and then sent it to her to prove like, yeah, I'm not with her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with my friends.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
Yep.
And then we have Port Moody 2.0.
Mm-hmm. Which to this day I still don't know how.
Yeah, I don't really know how either.
Well, it was just a party and then, we slept over together, but she didn't know. I thought I was having a party with the guys But somehow, somewhere, she saw somebody's story and Irene was in the photo, and
I wasn't in any photos. That's what I don't understand, because I took the photos.
that's what I don't get either. So I bet somebody's parent read it or something, but...
Like, who would even tell their parents who each person is there?
The guys wouldn't.
Yeah, and, like, the girls know the situation, and the girls don't talk to your mom. So to this day, we have no clue who the fuck
but
ratted
she found
us
out, called me, got really mad, shit like that. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, there was something specifically out of the ordinary for this scenario. Okay, so basically, Hank's mom decided to send a text message to my mom, who knows nothing about the situation and thinks that me and Hank have been, like, happily together this whole time with his mom knowing. So then she, like, texts my mom saying, like, hey, tell your daughter to stop stalking my son. And, like, oh, as a parent, you should know how to educate your child and, like, raise them well. And basically calling her a bad mom.
To this day, my mom still denies sending that message.
Like, I have a screenshot of it, so she can't deny it.
Yeah, I don't understand either.
Yeah, and then she blocked my mom, so my mom couldn't even respond, which is pretty savage. So, like, okay, she technically knew she was doing something wrong if she had to block my mom.
My mom's an idiot sometimes.
Which is pretty, yeah, and, like, my mom was, like, freaking out because she had no clue what the fuck was going on. Jenny had to message me this and was like, yeah, like, dude, what the fuck happened? Why did Hank's mom message mom about it? And, like, mom's crying now. And I was like, what the fuck? It's 10 a.m. in the morning. Why am I getting this kind of call? And then I don't even know what happened after that. I think I was just, like, so freaked out because I was so scared of, like, confronting my mom about it because I didn't want her to think of you badly or of our relationship badly. Because she definitely did think it was just puppy high school love when we first started dating. And, like, I guess everyone kind of did, too, because high school relationship, it's pretty, like, odd for them to move past grade 12. So then, like...
Honestly, I was freaking out because obviously, like, I couldn't really fully confront my mom about it, but at the same time, like, I had to talk to my mom about it because even if we were or weren't dating, sending someone a message like that is just not okay, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And then after that, I also had to, go to your mom and apologize for the actions of my mom. And, it was a hard time for everybody, but it kind of really made me realize how much I'm kind of sandwiched in all this,
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, the past 2 years especially, like, my mom is someone I care for a lot, and so are you. Because, no matter, yes, my mom has done all this crazy batshit stuff, but she is still the only person that has ever raised me, right? But at the same time, like, if I have an issue with my mom and, like, you, it's not like I can go to either of these sides and talk to someone about it, every time I've had an issue between you and my mom, like, it's something I have to deal with my emotions by myself. Because, for example, that time that my mom did that to your mom, it wasn't like I could go to my mom and be like, oh, actually, Irene's this, that. But at the same time, I can't go to you and tell you that, oh, my mom's actually this, that. So I'm kind of just stuck in the middle because neither side is happy. Because, obviously it's unfair to you that you have to deal with this every day. But at the same time, my mom's never, she hasn't been happy or she can't be happy knowing that, I'm with you.
Which makes no sense still to this day.
It doesn't. But at the same time, like, it feels, it's like suffocating.
Do you think this would have happened with any other girl or, like, it's specifically me?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Because, like, remember what you told me about when you went back to Asia this year for winter break and then you guys had to talk and you asked her, like what's up? Like, why do you not like Irene so much? And, like, she didn't even give you a definitive answer. She was just more like...
It's different every time. I think just for some reason she just doesn't like you. But I think my mom is very... The issue with my mom is she plans my whole life out for me, but I don't really adhere to it. So she's still trying to grasp onto what she can control. And she thinks that this is something she can control, but obviously in reality she can't. But
I feel like this is the one thing you should know you can't control, like the emotions of people.
Yeah, well, my mom's just like that. My mom's very controlling.
Yeah. I
She
feel like
always
she's just
has
not used
been.
to not having control over someone in her family, especially like her son, who like supposed like technically as a parent, like, oh, you would think you have control over your son, but like this is the one person she has no control over.
Yeah,
But still kind of does.
yeah. It's bad because I look at you and your mom and Jenny, and then I feel bad about it, right? And then I go to any family friend dinner and everybody's talking shit about me for it.
For not.
For not just they're like, why don't you just listen to your mom and be with this girl, that girl? And I'm just like, it's
Is your mom an arranged marriage kind of
no, she's
mom?
not, but she pushes a lot of girls my way. Like for example, Marianne, right? And I don't know, it's very. It's why ever since I moved to Toronto, my life's been a lot. Like yes, I suffered through a lot, but at the same time, in this aspect, like it's been a lot easier on my I guess my soul, right?
Like you're
But
hiding away from it.
it's not even that, because the issue with all this is like if I was fully independent myself, let's say financially and everything, this would be a non-issue. Because the only leverage my mom has ever had on me and all this stuff is, oh, I won't pay your tuition. Oh, I won't pay your rent. Blah, 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 blah. That's how me and my mom has always been. My mom always threatens me financially, you know?
Yeah. Oh, well, you should tell them about the text that you got after she texted my mom and then texted you in the morning saying, like, what the hell? Like, why are you with her? And then saying stuff about taking away your money.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty nuts. She was literally straight up like, oh, you're not going to get a penny from this family. You always told me about that. And I was like, okay, yeah. Like, a parent would say that to scare them. But, like, this time I was like, yo, like, it seemed so serious that I was actually scared for you.
Nobody ever believes me when I say stuff like that. Oh, my mom
Well, if
actually.
you hear it from someone else, you'll be like, yo, that's fucking insane. That sounds like a movie. That's why you wouldn't believe
But
it.
like now,
It's
if you
just so
think about it,
unrealistic.
the amount of crazy shit my mom's done, you already know she would do it.
But now I'm starting to think she won't. I'm back to that again. You're like the only person she has in her life. Who else is going to drive her to like doctor appointments or hang out with her at night?
I don't know, man. It's not a fun time.
Like, I think she likes to brag about you when you're not there.
Oh, she
Like,
does.
Exactly. So, like,
But at the same
without
time,
you,
when I'm
who's
next,
she going to talk to about?
but
Like,
at the same time, when I'm next to her, she kind of shames me for a lot of things, you know.
yeah. But, like, I think that's just normal to want to shit on the person when they're there. But then, like, not when they're gone. Yeah. Well, like, do you think there's anything you could have done to mitigate this situation back in high school? Do you
No.
think if I had met her, like,
Well,
in the
if you
beginning of our
met her right
relationship?
away, right, then yes, maybe. But other than that, no, I don't think anything would be different.
Like, I feel like I should have met her when we were friends. Because I definitely wouldn't have been nervous at all. I just would have been like, oh, like, I want to meet Hank's mom. Like, I love meeting my friends' moms. They're so cool.
Yeah.
But, like, because we didn't do that and then we just started dating, I was just like, nah. Like, that's too much pressure. And then even so, at the beginning of our relationship, I was like, I don't know where this is going to. Like, I don't know if we're going to date past high school. So I was like, I don't want to put that additional pressure just on myself yet if I don't know, like, where our relation's heading. So then time went on, and a year later, I guess I found out a year later she didn't like me. So it's not like I had a lot of time. I was going to ask you, like, oh no, I want you to say this on audio and like so I can have this basically stating when you're gonna tell her we're dating again.
Well, a couple months ago, I told you end of the summer, right? Because I was fully confident my mom had changed a bit. But, right now, I don't know what it is. Could be menopause. Who knows? My mom's been acting up again lately. It's hard to tell. Because I can't give you a date, right?
So we're not at the end of summer anymore.
Oh, things could still change, right? But my mom is not the nice, gloomy person, not gloomy, nice, preppy person she was when I came back. Because when I came back, it was whatever you want, you can have it. I'm here for you.
Well, I think it's just because she's going through back problems. It's just putting like
That's what I mean.
Another thing about her
We
mood.
don't know, right?
But like, when is something not like when? I feel like it's such a short point for her to be happy. Like her being a happy, like preppy person that you're saying. Like I feel like that lasts for a week, and then she's back to like something's up again.
Well, if you think about my whole family, we haven't had any good luck the past.
Exactly.
couple
Like
years,
I
right?
feel like, who knows how long that's gonna last until, right? So like even with that in mind, like, do you want to put like when's enough, you know?
Yeah.
Is that like a, I don't know, kind of situation?
It's more of a, I'm still working on it. Like, I am still trying to ease things into it, right? Because I still talk to my mom a lot about many different things. I'm trying to see where her head is at. But
Like about relationships or
relationships and life in general, you know? But at the same time, right now, it's like, it's not very stable ground. And all of this has to be well thought out by me, because one wrong word or something, and, you reset at the beginning. And when it comes to all this, it's not like I can have somebody, guiding me through what to say. Everything I have to deal with myself, and that's how it's always been, Because, yeah, you could say I could talk to you about it, but at the same time, because you know how my mom is to you, it's hard to be unbiased about it, right? And so when it comes to, I'd say 75% of the things in my life, it's always in my head, and I'm always thinking about it 24/7. And I have to formulate plans to deal with all this shit, right? And a lot of your friends might say, oh, it's as easy as just do this, do that, right? But nothing is ever clear cut, especially when it comes to your own family. Because first off, nobody really knows how my family works. Only I would know. And I've seen my family, I've seen how they've dealt with things, and most things, because none of the things are well thought out or well worded, my family is broken apart many, many different times, right? And so, I'm trying to come to a solution that I've been working on, past year or so, since the big blow up at Port Moody, that will keep all sides, relatively intact and happy about it. If it really was as easy as just telling her right off the bat, I would have, right?
Do you think you're scared to tell her?
I'm not scared to tell her. I'm scared what it would do to my family. So at this point, it's, if I was to bring anything up to their side of the family about what's happening now, yes, emotionally, they might side with me in the back of their head, but simply because they need my mom's money.
They'll be like, oh, listen to your mom.
Yeah.
But
and
even so,
it's not even that. It's like I would be completely isolated from my family. And I don't think you realize what it'd be like to be fully alone in a situation
I don't
when
think
you
they'll
don't
ever
have
abandon
family.
you. Your grandpa freaking loves you.
What's he gonna do? He can never fly again.
Yeah,
He's
but it's
stuck
not like
in
he'll be like,
China.
fuck you, like I don't want you to be my grandson anymore. He'll just be like
Well,
try to listen to your
my
mom,
grandpa's
but like
very
I'll
much
still
a
support
person
you.
who's based on honor and tradition, right?
Right.
And you could say that, but at the end of the day, you don't know my grandpa.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, right. But like, do you think that if this secret ever comes out, like they'll not love you anymore?
Well, my uncle knows, but my uncle's not he's not from the same bloodline as us, right? My uncle says there's no fucking way anybody in your family would be okay with you just saying that out loud right now. He says you literally have to ease it in.
No, yeah, of course. Like, I'm not saying to go up to her face and be like, yo, I'm still dating her.
Also, that's what I was saying, right? It's not something that can just be right now, end of summer, just say it, right? It's something that you need to play with in terms of seeing how she's reacting to different things you say to her over time.
Well, what have you said to her so far?
Well, for example, the most recent thing I've said is like, I told her that I've literally missed being with you, and she says, oh, like, don't say that, like, you'll be fine, you'll find another girl, stuff like that. And I'm like, just every response that I have, for example, in China, when I was in China, and how I told her about, when I asked her why she didn't like you, every single reaction she gives me back, I gauge that and see, when can I ask this question, when can I ask that question, and slowly you ease it in.
But like, you think by now she has an idea of it, or like just thinks that you miss me, like you miss being in a relationship?
Well, she knows the fact that, that I still very much think that you're the best person for me. Like, I've made that.
Does she know that she's the reason why we're not together? Like, did you tell her, like, oh, I'm going to break up with her because of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's much more complicated than most people would think it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is. It's not something that happens in the everyday life of a couple, I guess. Well, like, we basically wrote out the movie of Crazy Rich Asians at this point.
Well, Crazy Rich Asians was solved in an hour and a half. This is...
Yeah. Well, like, I can go play mahjong with her and, like, play chicken with her. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I don't get to make that decision anyways because it's your life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think just, like, the big question everyone always asks me is, like, when is it going to happen? Like, what's going to happen? Are you guys going to stay together? Are you guys, like, is he going to tell him and leave his mom? Or, like, what's going to happen?
Well, I've always told you, like, if I can't ease it in, then the backup plan was always, I become financially independent. And literally, if, things are still looking like the way they are right now, then it's as simple as just giving my mom an ultimatum and saying, if you can't deal with this, then that's that.
But even so with that, does that mean, like, you're willing to give her up? Right? Like, that's pretty insane.
Now you know what I'm dealing with, right?
Yeah, which is fucking crazy.
That's the one thing I hate the fucking absolute most is when, people give you, very condescending advice when they don't even understand not even the first 5 feet of the problem, right? When their relationship themselves aren't even that peachy itself. Everybody thinks there's some kind of approved fucking therapist, but at the end of the day, only you yourself will know where you are in life. Only I will know where I am. And only, like, for example, in this situation, you understand how you feel, right? And you've tried to communicate with that with me. And only I will fully know what I feel and how my family feels about this whole thing, right? People can give you advice all they want, but at the same time, have they ever dealt with something like this? Nobody has.
No. Well, okay. Right after what happened with Port Moody, I, like, remember Jenny was just talking to me about it and was, like, straight up like, dude, like, your relationship is not gonna work. It's, like, it's dead. Because, well, this was, like, a while ago, too. So, like, I think she was just so in the heat of the moment, like, oh, I can't believe she did that to mom. Like, she was just in the mindset that this can't be healed. Like, my mom likes you. She likes how you are with me and, like how you help me and all these things like that. But, like, I think she was just thinking of long term, like, say your mom does suddenly decide to accept our relationship, but, like, their relationship will never be mended.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think, like, if it weren't for the Port Moody situation, I think everyone was kind of just like, oh yeah, like, they'll get through it or whatever. But I feel like ever since that, it was just kind of like all up in the air. Like, you don't know what's going to happen next because no one expected that, right?
Yeah.
So now, like, everything is pretty much unpredictable, day by day situation. Oh, we had a theory. We were, like, saying, like, oh, okay, if he does it by the end of the summer, he has, like, a getaway plan. He goes back to Toronto for school and doesn't have to deal with the repercussion. But then now, since quarantine's a thing, you have to stay. So then we were like, okay, he might postpone it then.
So
because then he has to stay home and deal with it.
Yeah.
So, like, you were planning to do it in the summer so you can leave your mom and not get yelled at anymore. Correct?
Yeah.
You didn't mention that.
Well, low key, like, that's something that's part of the game.
I didn't even think about that until Caitlin told me that. I was like, no, he wants to tell her because he thinks he's ready. And she was like, nah, he's just running away. Well, now I know you're trying to run away. Now you can't.
That's a mix, right? It's a mix of both. You always have to have a backup plan.
Get away and run to the apartment that she's paying for.
Yeah, worst case, go homeless.
Or worst case, if you tell her now and you get stuck here, you could just move in with me. At least you'd still have a home here. If you were in Toronto, you'd be screwed.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, here's my last question. Do you think you and my mom will get along? Or, no, me and your mom will get along.
If she didn't dislike you?
No, just like this situation now. Like,
would you guys ever get along?
Yeah.
I'd say it's a 5% chance.
I feel like I'm a very forgiving person, and like I don't hold grudges. Like I don't hate your mom. Like I think she's like.
Okay, you say that, but I have also you always have these little flashes where you get really aggressive towards my mom.
Well, yeah, because something she does just doesn't make sense.
Well,
to me,
sometimes she
where I'm
doesn't
like,
do
sucks.
anything. I just said something about my mom, and then you just get really aggressive about it.
Because
right?
it's a little thing that build up, and like she irritates me.
Well, that's
sometimes.
what I mean. So low key, it is.
Yeah.
It's not like you.
But like I'm not trying to hate her. Like she
Mm-hmm.
just like does things that just piss me off because it doesn't make sense, and also like I just don't understand her like thinking sometimes. And then I didn't hate her, or I don't hate her. It was just ever since the Port Moody thing with my mom just made me like respect her a lot less, because I did respect her as a mom in the beginning because she was a single mom with an only child and like doing all these cool things in her life. So I was like, okay, like that's pretty impressive for her to be able to balance all that on top of being a mom. So I was like, okay, good, like kudos to her, like that's awesome. But then like after what she did with Port Moody, I was like, okay, so there's a lot of baggage happening.
Yeah, I think a part of me also died that day too. Mm-hmm. That was the day I lost a lot of respect for my mother too. Mm-hmm. And now I usually don't see my mom the same anymore ever since that day.
Yeah. Well, I guess you never would have expected your mom to do that, probably, right?
Well, that was one of the days where I was ashamed to be her son. Mm-hmm. I did not want to be her son that day.
Do you think she tells people about like what she does, or like
Nope.
she would know not to tell because it's pretty like
She knows not to
crazy?
tell.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, what I was saying before was just like if she does choose to like accept our relationship and like is civil towards me, I will probably be okay with her. Mm-hmm. Like in the back of my mind, yes, I'll think about the things that she did in the past, but like that's also the past. I'll just like be respectful to her and like just be nice to her, but I don't think I'll like be, oh my god, I hate her still.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she could do the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like she knows how to hold a grudge.
Well, I think we'll see when the time comes. Like, it's a reason why I don't even share a bank account with her anymore. Mm-hmm. In case the day does come where it's like, I will be like, fuck you, and just leave, Because, it's going to take a couple of years. For example, if she bails on me now, I think my credit should be good enough to keep me afloat for a year, right? Like, I'd have the resources. But that's easy to say when I haven't even graduated and don't have a job yet, right? Mm-hmm. That's all planned out.
Well, like, do you feel like now you can't really use her resources then?
I just don't use them in general nowadays,
Well, like, with that job in Spain that you could have had, like, that would be through her.
Yeah.
So, like, would you have wanted to take it? Because you wanted to take it this summer, but it was only until you knew you couldn't. You were like, oh, I regret. Or, like, I would have wanted to now. Now
well, I would have taken it because it'd be stupid not to.
Yeah. But, like, would you want to take it in the sense that it's like, oh, my mom's helping me, and then if I screw her over one day, she's going to throw this at me, like, I gave you this internship, like, you got this experience because of me.
That shit doesn't matter. Without me, my mom would be dead by now, so.
Mm-hmm. So you think you have just as much hold
as she does on you? I've saved her life countless times. Mm-hmm. And,
So in that situation, it's kind of like you guys are even. You don't owe anything to her.
But I do. She still gave me the life that I have today, right?
You gave her the life she still has today.
It goes both ways. It goes hand in hand.
Exactly. So you guys are at an even playing field.
Yeah.
She doesn't have, like, an upper hand on you. Like, she needs you as much as you need her.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, with that in mind, if, like, the truth does come out, like, she's not going to be able to leave you.
Yeah. Well, it also depends if she's alive after I tell her.
Which you're going to have to one day.
Yeah.
So, either, like, the answer is going to come out one day. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to, like, ignore that question.
Have 911 dialed beforehand.
Are you happy you did this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was fun. It was cool.
All right. I guess that's it. Okay. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.